Hello again, my name's Dave Zollner. Well, if you and me for any period of time, you know that Johnny Wetstart, the senator from Arizona, Senator Johnny McCain. I'm not a fan of his. I actually detest him. And I have a whole lot of reason to detest him. So would you, if you knew the truth. Sadly, so many people don't know, or they don't care. I've put up, 110, 115 videos on McCain alone. You might say he's my favorite representative in a negative way. One of my viewers sent me an interesting little link, and there's a photograph of Johnny Wetstart when he was over in Syria, and he's hobnobbing with ISIS terrorists. And the title underneath is "End the Reign of Senator John McCain." This was written on October the 2nd, 2015. It was sent by James Bohe. It's Boehlje. Don't know if I pronounced it correctly. If I didn't, I apologize. And he wrote, "Why do I call him Little Johnny Songbird? Because of what he did in Nam. We remember Hanoi Jane, but pass over the Admiral's son, Little Johnny, as well as Kerry, Secretary of State, the Munson lookalike. He made propaganda speeches and films for the enemy while captive. In 1992, while on the Senate committee regarding troops MEI left behind, he stonewalled the investigation. A few quotations from the days. Captain Bob Domas, U.S. Army retired. He didn't want anybody to check his background because a lot of the POWs that was in the camp said he was a collaborator of the enemy. He gave the enemy the information they wanted. Dr. James Lucer, former U.S. Senate Chief of Staff. But we do not know that when he was in the Vietnam prison, he cooperated with the Communist News Service in giving interviews there. Not flattering to the United States. USRY information shows that he made over 32 tapes of propaganda for the Vietnamese government. Certainly, you do what you need to do to stay alive. Nobody would fault anybody for that. But there comes a point in time when enough is enough. Representative Dornan, they made those transcripts, and in the transcripts I heard a POW who heard them coming into a cell and said, "Oh my God, is that Admiral McCain's son? Is that the Admiral's son? Is that Johnny telling us that our principal targets are schools, orphanages, hospitals, temples, churches?" That was Jane Fonda's line. Where are those transcripts? Believe me, they're in the archives of the museum, the Bragging Military Phone Museum in Hanoi. McCain could not have wanted those to turn up in the middle of a presidential race. He knows that. I know that. And a few other people know that. And that's why he went against Bob Dole's legislation. Folks, do your own Googling. Learn about Senator McCain when he was a pilot flying a A-4 Skyhawk. Learn of the men that he singly is responsible for having killed on the decks of the Forrestal. They call him Johnny Wetstart for a reason. And what he used to do is he used to pump raw fuel into his turbine, then ignite it, and a big flash of flame would come out the exhaust. That flash of flame came out and ignited a Zuni rocket on the wing of his friend that was climbing into his jet behind him. That's why he did the Wetstart. That Zuni rocket hit a pile of ordnance. 134 sailors died. I think around 200 were seriously injured. The aircraft carrier could have sunk. But, again, he was the son of the Admiral of the Pacific Fleet during the Vietnam conflict. The man needs to be held accountable. He needs to know that we know. And his elitist lifestyle needs to come to an abrupt end. That's sort of what I think. Seems I'm not alone. Let me know what you think. I'll attach the article I just read to you. You'll see the photograph of Johnny Wetstart with his ISIS radical insurgent Muslims after they shared a wonderful meal together. Absolutely insane.